there's a part of the ceremony that to me is just missing. And that is, okay guys, in this video, I'm going to be speaking about whether the sacredness of marriage has been lost in our traditional modern society. It's something that I was thinking about for the last day, and it's been on my consciousness since I was a little kid, to be honest. It seems to be getting more extravagant. It seems to be getting more to do with money, to do with how we present ourselves to social media, and less about the actual ceremony and the spiritual aspects of marriage. So that's what we're going to be discussing in this video, and I cannot wait to share this with you. So thank you guys. And also I just want to say thank you so much for supporting my channel. I've set myself the goal to meet 1,000 subscribers, and I'm nearly there. I'm almost halfway there, which is really exciting. So if you do get any value from this video, then please do subscribe, please do like, and please do leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this topic. Your perspective is very interesting to me, and I would love to have a conversation with you about it. So don't forget to do that. Without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. Like I said, ever since I was a kid, I always had this feeling, and like many things in my life, by the way, I've always been someone that hasn't just gone along with societal norms. Like a lot of people, for some reason, are so happy to just do that, and maybe for them it feels right in some way, but I do have a feeling that it's also to do with just being unaware of like the influences that society has on us, the influences that other human beings have on us, have on our psyche. As I've gotten older, I have like really thought about it, because I obviously will date guys and they'll ask me about marriage, and I'm like, you know what, it's really weird because I actually don't know if I want to get married. And it was only my last relationship where I had realized that if I was to get married, it would be like, I'm open, you know, I am open to it, and I'm open to that experience. I'm not like so attached to it happening though. And I'm not like thinking that I will be complete once this happens, and that my life, that needs to happen in my life. I genuinely think that relationships are meant to serve their purpose of helping us to learn and to grow and to evolve and become more self-aware of our own desires and our own truth. And so I don't necessarily think that a relationship needs to last forever. I also believe in reincarnation. I was talking to this about my friend last night as well, and I was saying how when I started to understand, especially from watching like near-death experience videos and learning about what happens after we pass on. Guys, there are thousands of near-death experience videos of people with these reports where they leave their body and they have very similar experiences. I will not go into that right now because I think that's a whole video for another day and something that I would really like to do. The thought of reincarnation feels like truth to me. It feels like we are constantly this presence, this consciousness that is like just experiencing, and that is something that cannot be destroyed. And so throughout our life, we are constantly reincarnating through what we believe that we are and what we are identified with. I remember Eckhart Tolle saying that reincarnation is your identification with a new belief, or your attachment to a new identification. I'm paraphrasing, I don't know if that was exactly what he said. With that in mind, and like that feeling like truth to me, when it comes to relationships, I really do think that relationships are there for us to be present in and to feel our truth in relation to that other person. And whether that means that we want to be with them in that moment, we want to be exclusive to that person or not, is going to be very unique and different for every person. And so when it comes to the idea of marriage and the idea that we should find someone that we will link up with and be with for the rest of our life, which by the way doesn't seem to be working, it's actually more rare that you will find two humans have been together for their whole life and they are genuinely happy and fulfilled and in a loving relationship. Like, how rare is that? I think it's sad that there are such a lack of truly loving relationships. And I think that that is because it is just our state of consciousness as human beings right now. And so part of the reason why I love to make videos like this and why I love to speak about these things is because I'm so passionate about really looking at where our state of consciousness is from observing relationships, the media, like all of the stuff that everything that we output, like the fruits of the seeds that we sow, the quality of our relationships, the quality of our life, and how we feel is all really good signposts to how our state of consciousness is. If I meet someone and I have this attachment to finding my forever person, it's very easy to get into this like fantasy world in our minds of, okay, this could be my person. And then anything that they do that might be incompatible with our truth, it's very easy to suppress that and start pushing that down because we're so attached to this person, like being the actual one for us, that we end up not wanting to accept what is actually on our hearts. And I'm speaking from experience. This is stuff that I have absolutely experienced and still notice and observe in myself up until this day. On the other side of that is like, if I can't notice and be aware of when something doesn't feel right to me with someone else, maybe they're incompatible to me in some way. And I was watching a video about this today. It was a video by Aaron Abke, and he was saying, it basically was, he was talking about martyrdom, and how we are so quick to self-sacrifice when it comes to another human being. Maybe we want to stay with them, or we're scared to upset them in some way, which is actually such a normal thing, and it's so understandable that we wouldn't want to upset someone else. But when we do that, we end up sacrificing a true part of ourselves. And that is always going to catch up with us at some point in the end, whether we end up feeling a lot of pain and suffering, and then we might internally blame or resent the other person for the fact that we have actually pushed down our own truth. I think this is happening in a lot of relationships. And so my whole thing is, if we get into relationships because we feel like the pressure, for example, from society, from our parents, from our friends and our family to be married because it makes us feel like we are of value in some way, we are more desirable, or we are just a better person, because when you're married, it obviously means that you're a better person, or you're viewed as more successful in society. And so if we are choosing someone for that reason, and not because our whole being, our spirit, our mind, our body is in agreement that I actually really want to be with this person, like they just feel right to me in this moment as well, not projecting like, I want to be with you forever and I want to cling on to you for as long as I can, you know? And this is what I think a lot of the time with marriage is what is happening, is we are maybe getting married to someone for the reasons that are of the ego, and not because they are pure. And I'm not hating or judging on this, by the way, because I understand that there is obviously some benefit, especially to the ego, when it comes to putting on this, I don't want to say performance, but it kind of is. It's like, why are we doing these weddings? Why are we spending so much money on a wedding? Like, if you have the money to do it and that's what your heart desires, then go ahead. Like I said, I'm not judging. Please don't think I'm judging. It's more for me like questioning and pondering on where this is coming from, and is it actually beneficial for our society? And so when I see people, for example, going on like really extravagant hen-dos or bachelorettes, bachelor parties, and as time goes on, they just seem to be getting more and more extravagant and big. More money is being spent and more alcohol is being drank like throughout a whole week. It used to be one night before the wedding, and now it's like a whole weekend or a whole week where people are just like, it's like, what